Hi everyone, this is Shreyas Kamath here. You must have seen in my previous video that I made a quick demo of a lead qualification workflow wherein you segregate leads based on their budget. Okay, so in this video, we'll be doing the detailed tutorial of that workflow. So this is an interface. You can log in or you can also self-host it and you get this interface, right? So you can see a create workflow option right over here. When you click on this, you get this interface. So let me quickly rename this workflow as ho- home builders workflow. Okay. And you can see add first step right here. So before that, in my previous video, as I mentioned, I used N8 default form submission. I tell you why I did that. So basically, a lot of luxury home builders, as well as custom home builders, use, have their ad campaigns running. And in those ads, they have their forms wherein they ask name, phone, email, budget, city, as well as the preferred start date sometimes, right? So, and we collect in this workflow, we collect all the data and qualify them based on only the budget. Let's say we the base minimum budget of the luxury home builders is 200 grand. Okay, if the lead budget is less than 200 grand or 2000 $200,000, it will be marked as unqualified lead. If it's above that, qualified lead. Okay, so for the sake of this video, I'll be keeping it as simple as possible for beginners. So instead of using the Facebook API, instead of connecting webhook, I'm using the default on form submission trigger. So I put the form title as luxury home builders, luxury home builders, and we don't need any form description. I'll add item. First would be full name. The element type would be text, and then I'll add another form element that would be email. This is again text. I'll add another form element that would be phone. Since phone is a number, I'll change it to number. Okay. And then I'll add what else do we have? City or state. City slash state. This again in element type would be text again. And we'll add the budget of the client. And this is in number. And the last one would be preferred start date. Preferred, uh, preferred start date. Yeah. And that would be date. Okay. I'll execute the step. Let's see how it goes. Okay. This is the form. I'll quickly fill in. I'll put my name. I'll put my email address. City would be Austin, Texas. Budget would be 250000. Okay. And the preferred start date, for the sake of the video, I'll be putting it as today and I'll submit it. As you can see, the form is already submitted. We can see the output over here. I'll pin this output so that we don't need to execute this form again and again and again for the testing purposes. So if I pin it, this is fixed. This output is fixed. Okay. I click on back to canvas side over here, and the next node would be edit fields, set node basically. So I need to collect all this data and set it. So I'll drag this and it will be name. I'll add email. I'll add phone. I'll add city state. I'll add budget. I'll add preferred start date as well. Okay, this is done. Also, once the lead is qualified, we'll be sending an email to them saying that you can book a free design consultation. And for that, we need link, right? So for us to become easier, I'll add one more field that would be consultation link. I'll just copy it here This is the Google Docs which I created for this workflow. I'll be putting this workflow in putting this Google Docs in the description below. Consult it. I just copy this, paste it, and this is my consultation link. That is appointment calendar which I created it from Google. I copy this and I paste in the value. You know the reason behind after a few steps. I'll execute the step. I click on execute step, and yeah, it's been executed perfectly. This is done. I also pin this data so that we don't need to execute this particular step again and again. Okay, the next node would be budget node. We need to segregate based on budget, right? So for this segregating stuff, we'll be using if node. I click on if, and the value would be budget. Okay, it should be greater than or equal to. For the sake of the video, I'll be taking 200 grand, that is $200,000. Yeah, this is the step. I'll execute the step and it's supposed to go in the true node. In if node, we have two nodes. We have two branches, that is true branch, false branch. If the budget is above 200 grand, it will go to true branch. If it's below 200 grand, it will go to false branch. So let's see how this goes. I'll execute the step. As you can see, in true branch we have one item, and in false branch we don't have any item because the input which I have given is 250000. Oh yeah. So true branch is activated now. Okay, so this particular lead, that is my name, that is Shreyas, have been qualified for, I have been a qualified lead. So the next step would be to write an email to myself, basically to the qualified lead, saying that you can book a consultation using this link. And to generate an email, I don't need a fixed email to all my qualified leads. We'll be generating it again and again. We will tweak it a bit. So we need to generate an email. For that sake, we'll be using Gemini chat model. So we'll be using Google Gemini to generate emails. So under text action, you can see message a model right over here. I click on this and message a model. And the credential to connect with, we need to set up the API, the credential of Google's. The operation will be message a model. And model, for the sake of the video, I'll be choosing preview model since it's free. 2.0 flashlight preview works well. And the prompt would be write an email to this person. I'll drag it and drop it over here. As you can see, write an email to Shreyas. Superb. And what email should be generated? It doesn't, the information is not given, right? So for that particular reason, I'll be using system message option. I'll change it to expression. I'll change it to full screen. I've also given the detailed prompt here. System form for Gemini qualified lead. I'll copy this entire thing and paste it over here. Okay. Uh, I'll be changing the consultation link. Just a second. So system is okay. System is right here. Consultation link will be right over here. Here and here as well. I drag it and drop it over here. And the full name, I drag it again. Full name, city, the budget, and the consultation link, I'll be providing it here as well, so that there will be no confusions. Okay, I guess we are good to go. And yeah, I'll execute the step now. The email says the subject says your new home project in Austin, Shreyas. Hi, etc. etc. It also provided the design consultation link, which is great. At the same time, when we send it, this text thing is one particular item. The subject and the body is not separated, right? But to send an email, we need the subject separately and as well as the body separately. And for that reason, we'll be segregating subject as well as the body. We'll be using code node, and in the JavaScript code, we'll be using this code. I'll select all, I'll select all and paste it. Okay, and I'll execute the step. Superb. The subject has been separated and the body has been separated. As you can see from the Gemini model, we can see the output is one item. But from the code item, it's also one item, but it's segregated into 2 point. It is segregated into two parts, that is subject and the body. Okay. Also, I forgot to mention that you might be wondering how I got this detailed system prompt for Gemini node, right? System prompt for Gemini node. This system prompt is generated using ChatGPT, a custom ChatGPT, which is called as AI Agent Prompt Architect 5. I'll be providing the link in the description below so that you can use this in your Indian workflows anytime. Okay, and this generates a detailed prompt which an agent can understand easily and effortlessly. Okay, and this is where I generated that detailed prompt. I had to mention that. Okay, now it's time to send an email. Gmail. Okay, we'll send a message. Okay, two would be in edit fields. The email. I'll drag it and drop it over here. Okay, and the subject. Subject would be this, your new home project in Austin shares. Done. And the email type is obviously text and not HTML. And the message would be the body, that is the body. I'll try it and drop it over here. Also, this one catch here. Under options, add one option, and here you can see append native attribution. You need to flick this off, because if you flick this on, it will be showing this email is being generated using an A10. You don't want that, right? Suppose if you're doing cold email marketing or whatever it is, at the end it says it's sent using an A10. We don't want that. So we'll toggle this off. And now we'll execute the step. Yeah, now we'll check our Gmail. I'll refresh this. Here we go. Your new home project in Austin, Shreyas. Hi, Shreyas. Here we go. Your starting budget is, as I mentioned in the form, this is the same exact thing. And this is the design consultation link. If I click on this, it goes to my appointment page, wherein we can book any time we want for the design consultation to happen. Superb. Now, as soon as a lead has been qualified, we need to notify the team members as well, or the owner as well, right? For that, I'll be using Telegram as my mode of communication to the team members. I'll be using Telegram. We'll be sending a message, send a text message, and the credential would be your own bot. Resource would be message. If you're wondering how do we get that credential of Google, Telegram, and other stuff, I'll make a detailed video on that as well. So it will be quite soon. And so this is my chat ID. I'll remove this branch. I put it over here. I'll also put it over here because this should work simultaneously. I click on tidy up option. Okay, what to send? What text to send? For that purpose, we'll be using this text. Telegram text. It is being qualified as it is. I'll copy this and paste it over here. Okay. Um, yeah. Under edit fields, we obviously have the full name. I'll just drag it and drop it. The email of the lead, qualified lead, the phone of the qualified lead, the phone of the qualified lead, the budget of the qualified lead, the city and state of the qualified lead, and the preferred preferred start date of the qualified lead. Yeah. Okay, we are good to go. This is how the output would look like in Telegram message. Qualified lead, name, shares, my email, my phone, my budget, city, state, etc. This is just to notify the team members. Okay. We'll execute the step and check it out. I open my Telegram. As you can see, this is my main bot, which I have created personally. I have been notified. As you can see, here you can see this message was sent automatically with N810. Obviously, we need to toggle that off. So what I'll be doing is append N810 attribution. I will toggle that off. I will flip this off. Now I'll execute the stuff. See, now you don't get this. This message was sent automatically with N810. You don't get that, right? So this is the reason why you need to toggle that off. Okay, we are good to go. Also, as soon as the lead has been qualified, we need to update the qualified lead data in our Google Sheets. Okay. And for that, I'll also be adding Google Sheets. Google Sheets, here we go. We need to append or update row in a sheet. And for that, we need to create a new Google Sheets. I've created this Google Sheets, Home Builders Leads, wherein you contain full name, email, phone, city, state, budget, preferred start date, as well as the status, whether they are qualified or unqualified. Okay. This is the Google Sheet which you need to create it. And you need to you need to add your credentials, and the operation would be append or update row. And the document would be this home builders sheets, and there are only one sheet, so I click on sheet 1 and map each automatically match on. Okay, I click on manually. The values to send would be full name. I'll go to edit fields option. I'll drag this and drop it here. I'll drag this and drop it here. I'll drag phone and drop it here. I'll drag city and drop it just a second. Yeah, drop it here. I drop budget and drop it here. I'll also add a dollar sign over here so that it shows this output. Okay. And the preferred start date would be this. And status, let's leave that blank as of now. Okay, let's execute the step. Let's check that out now. As you can see, the Google Sheets is updated automatically. Suppose let's say from your ad, 10 leads simultaneously applied your applied your Google form, have submitted your Google form or whatever form it is, it will be updated automatically without any worries. Okay. And next, we'll also be adding, okay, just a second. This should happen simultaneously. So that's the reason I'll be putting this node here and I'll attach this node here. I'll wire that up. Okay. And next, after this, I'll also add again, I'll again add Google Sheets again. And in this, I'll update row in a sheet. And then I'll update row. The same thing, home builders leads, sheet 1. manually, yeah, and select column to match full name. Full name would be here, and the status would be qualified. Qualified is a good step. Yeah, status is qualified. I guess we don't need this stuff again. Maybe I can just delete this and put it over here. Let me just clear this whole row. It's completely cleared now. Here I have mentioned it as qualified. There's a good step. Yeah, let's mention. I can do this as well or the other one as well. So this is perfect. This is for the qualified leads part. So what I'll be doing is I'll copy the entire thing, this stuff, copy it and paste it and attach this for the false branch. Just a second. False branch, the same false branch and false branch. I'll tidy this up. Okay. Um, for the text message part, we won't be doing this. We'll be doing unqualified one. So where's my Google Docs? Okay, here's my Google Docs. So instead of qualified lead, we'll be mentioning it as unqualified lead. I'll change to full screen. Instead of qualified lead, just unqualified lead. Okay, and also add the reason. I'll add the budget over here after the dollar, just after the dollar sign. Perfect. The output will be something like this. Okay, we are good to go. I'll execute. I can't execute this stuff because there's no data. Maybe I'll change this to edit this. Until that, I'll submit the form again. The budget will be 150000 and the proposed salary will be today. Submit it. As you can see, now the entire stuff is in the false branch. It's running in the false branch, as you can see this. At the same time, I didn't update this. I had to update this actually, but I didn't. Okay. And the status for the Google Sheets would be unqualified, right? Unqualified. Okay. The only thing we need to update is the Gmail. So in for that part, we'll be using this part. We'll be changing this entire stuff. We won't be sending any consultation form. And for that, we'll go to Google Docs. We have system message for you for unqualified lead. We'll just copy the entire stuff and paste it over here. Obviously, we need to put some input data over here. I'll add my full name, city, budget. Since it's in the false band, it's showing 15,150,000. And we don't need any consultation link here, so there's no consultation link here. Now we'll execute the step. This for the unqualified lead part. So suppose if the lead is not qualified, what email will this particular workflow will be sending it to them? A quick note on potential project in Austin. You can just read this out. We just mentioned that this your budget is a bit lower than our minimum threshold. Hence, yeah, feel free to reapply to this email, reply to this email if you have any questions or if you have any plans to change the budget plans or if you have a plan to increase the budget, please feel to contact us, so and so. So this is how it works. And also you can see, mm, okay, we will run this Telegram message. Yeah, unqualified lead, and we'll run this Google Sheets. It's supposed to be updated. It's actually overwriting it because since I use my same name, it's actually overwriting it. Let me do it using another form. Execute workflow. I'll be using it as Steven. Okay. My email and budget would be, it doesn't matter here. And the paper start date is today. Submitted. Now let's check this. Still running, I guess. Yeah, we have unqualified lead, Stephen Hawking, so and so, so and so. Okay. And also our, as you can see, the Google Forms is updated because Stephen Hawking, our email, phone, city, budget, etc., etc., and the status is unqualified. The workflow was, guys. Was the tutorial of this workflow. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much, guys.